One Punch Man, volume 25 is here at last. So we're just going to get straight into it. So here we have the cover. Flashy Flash and Saitama just running side by side. Flashy Flash is surprised that someone's able to keep up with his speed. And here is the extended front cover. On the back we have a weird looking picture of Saitama and Genos in a plain white background. Yeah, I've noticed a lot of people criticised this background image when it was first announced online, and I can see why. There's just not much going on, and these two characters do look a bit weird in this art style. I'm not sure why they're like this, but yeah. On the side we've got Drive Knight, which is unique because usually the featured characters on the side, but this time we got Drive Knight and Flashy Flash. So now we're going to get into it here. We've got a quote from One and a quote from Yusuke. And I noticed here it's talking about the Super Nintendo, the SNES. I have a feeling that One here is probably talking about the Super Famicom, but it's just been translated to English, so they've also changed the console from Famicom to NES for regional purposes or something. Here we have the fictional characters message, which is basically the Hero Association guys, which is unique. Yeah, and we have got a lot of Drive Knight in this volume here, with all the characters featured in this volume. And here we have all the chapters list, with the make at the very bottom. It doesn't directly pick up right where the previous volume left off, but here we've got Puri Puri prisoner, and he finds Garu been captured. Yeah, it's been a long time since we've seen him, but he's here and imprisoned. And of course, Puri Puri prisoner thinks it's someone captured and he tries to help him, but then realises it's someone on the wanted poster and awakens Garu from his sleep. And basically completely one-shots him with this combo. And just puts this fear into prisoner. But it does really go into perspective of how strong Garu has come, because he's arguably stronger than Tank Top Master, or at least on the same level as him, and he's now just making quick work of him like it was nothing. And then we continue on with Saitama looking underground, and he encounters Flashy Flash. But he's surprised that Saitama is able to dodge and move past his attacks. Yeah, this guy has a similar reaction to Speed of Sound Sonic when he first met Saitama, of someone being as fast as him, and he can't allow that. So I guess similar pride, as they did come from the same ninja village. Saitama thinks he's a monster, but Flash explains that no, it's just a mistake. So they decide to start travelling around underground together. And here shows that Saitama thinks Orochi is a different monster, and he doesn't know who the king of the monsters was, despite him literally killing him. He just knows this as the bath monster. But yeah, he's excited because he thinks it sounds strong, but he doesn't know that he's actually already taken out the boss. But yeah, Saitama decides to continue on with Flash, but even he is surprised that Saitama's catching up with his speed. He was even faster than the speed of Sound Sonic, and yeah, they just continue running off together. And Saitama starts asking him if he's lost, and I think that's all we get of these guys from this volume, and all the other lower class heroes. And yeah, Nyan shows up from underground because he escaped from Saitama, and a lot of this is just him defeating all these lower class heroes, and I like how he even acknowledges that Sonic never shows up. But yeah, and just trying to get Waganma away, and everyone's losing. And I didn't really feel too invested in this battle. I don't really care much for these lower heroes, personally. Just, it's basically showing off how strong a dragon level threat is. But Drive Knight later interferes, And I really like this image of Saitama here and here. I don't know, it's just so cool. But yeah, it's just showing off like all of Drive Knight's abilities, like all of him going into a motorbike and what he can produce, and his horse form and different robot transformations he can do, and eventually his gold form, and Niang going inside Drive Knight's armour, attacking him from inside, and Drive Knight just bursting him out with hot steam. Again, not too interesting of a fight in my opinion, but very cool, I guess. I feel like Drive Knight didn't really need to go all out like that. I think he was just showing what he could do. But yeah, after he defeats him, he starts informing everyone that Metal Knight is apparently evil, and he plans to take over the Hero Association and stuff. And it's still very debated who's the actual bad guy and who's blaming each other, but it's clear that they don't get along. And because if you remember, he even warned Genos not to go around him, but we don't know much about his side, so it's hard to say yet. Yeah, after all that, he gets interrupted by G5, who was defeated by Atomic Samurai. He thinks he can take him on as like he's weakened, but pops out and finds that it's the inside robot again, like the pilot of the suit, like in Volume 8 of G4, but again Genos comes in and stomps it with his stronger form. Then we got some really cool Genos moments here, like him just saving all these lower class heroes and killing these monsters and showing that he is a really good and powerful hero. And of course, Genos learns that Saitama's in the battle because Nian talks about a monster defeating monsters in one punch, and he obviously puts two and two together, which is good. And I do like this little fat hero, like who can burn his fat. We don't get to see much of him, but we've seen him throughout the series, and I just thought he was like a funny design. But it's good that even he got a moment to shine here. But yeah, it's cool to see Genos again after this long wait, and Genos gets all this info on the big dragon level threats of the Monster Association and heads out to the battle. And that's all from Genos from now. But yeah, it cuts back to Prisoner getting defeated by Garo, and Darkshine shows up. And then this is pretty much like the cliffhanger of the volume, which I'm really excited for, because we're finally going to get, in the physical volume, Garo versus Darkshine, which is honestly one of my favourite fights in One Punch Man. It's just so good. And we get a bit of Child Emperor fighting Evil Natural Water. But that's pretty much where the volume leaves off. We got the make at the end, which is back of the head, or back of my head, or something. It's Saitama when he had hair, and him trying to see his hair loss, and he keeps looking behind his head in the shower. And yeah, surprisingly, no Stop Your Reading the Wrong Way or no advertisement at all this volume. I don't know if it's a printing issue or if they forgot or there's a reason behind it, but yeah, it's just not here, which doesn't bother me too much. It's pretty nice just having a volume like that. But yeah, that has been One Punch Man volume 25. It's pretty cool to have a singular, cover design again, just like how we had before, with a new character on cover. I guess we've already had a Flash cover, but you know what I mean. It's just nice to not have a joint cover again. And now for another long wait for volume 26 of the manga. But yeah, that will do it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.